Hey everybody, welcome to Beyond The Paranormal Podcast. It's another Tuesday. But before we get into this, folks, go out and subscribe to our YouTube page. It's very simple to find, Beyond The Paranormal Podcast. Click it, like, subscribe, hit the bell to follow us and all that good stuff. Give us a like on our Facebook page. Takes 2 seconds maybe.
Just we love.
We love. Don't get me started singing on here. I'll dance like Beyonce if you get me. God, don't get me started.
Yes.
But anyway, we have a special guest this evening, Robb Demarest. He is from GHI plus Ghost Hunters, and he did also, what was it? Let me see here. Hauntings in Australia. Haunting Australia, I should say. I'm sorry about that, Robb. But we got Robb on here to talk about all this stuff. Plus, he's going to blab about collecting artifacts from haunted, cryptid, and UFO locations. So this is going to be a good podcast. RhiAnna will be on here in just a little bit. So, Robb, man, welcome to the podcast, and thanks for doing this on a short notice, man.
Oh, no problem. Happy to be here. I just wanted to start off by saying that, so I go up to Roger Bumpus, who was Squidward on SpongeBob.
Yes, sir. This is a good story.
And I asked him, could you autograph this? And he said, what is this? And he dead serious talks exactly like Squidward in real life.
Oh,
I mean, what do you got there? So I handed him a VHS copy of House Party 2, the Pajama Jammy Jam.
Oh, my God.
And he said, oh, I'm dead serious. I got it in the other room. He said, I'm not in this. I said, yeah, I know. I had nothing to do with this movie. Yep. And he's really annoyed. But I'm standing there holding the money out.
Yeah.
So he's looking at the money, and he's looking at a copy of House Party 2, the Pajama Jammy Jam. So finally, he takes the money, writes his name, and then writes in all capitals, Squidward, and underlines it about 4 times. That's how I like to start any interview, with a good Roger Bumpus story. And there's so many.
That's awesome. And you was talking about so many stories of having, like, you know, people sign stuff that they're not even a part of, and it blows my mind. Like, what? It's just gag stuff. I mean, that's awesome though.
They're like, how do these things are linked together? You know, like it's a mystery. So you show up and they're like, I'm signing this. I'm not sure why I'm signing this, but let's roll with it.
You remember Short Round? And he was also in the Goonies.
Yes.
I went up to him and gave him a 3rd grade class picture of myself I found.
Oh, God. Seriously.
Oh, dead serious. And he goes, and it's the dorkiest picture. I got like a bowl cut and the whole 9, little like clip-on bow tie. I look like the biggest nerd.
Oh,
and I got like these glasses all askew. And he's like, oh, is this your son? I was like, no, my son has style. Like, he's like, that's you? I was like, yeah. And this is back when I was like working out every day, 3 hours a day. So I'm this huge dude, and he doesn't know who I am. So he's like, okay, how would you like it made out? And I said, I forget exactly what it said, but it was something like, to Rob, you know, keep it classy or something like that. And he's like, okay. You know, some people, the worst one I've got is from the young man who was in The Toy.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
With Richard Pryor.
Okay. Now. All right.
Okay. He was young Master Bates.
Yeah.
Now he was also in A Christmas Story. He triple dog dares you.
Oh.
Now he went on to produce and even star in adult entertainment.
Oh, man.
Kind of like Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Smell. That's right. That was his movie. Apparently that was not him in it, by the way.
Oh.
He had a stunt double.
Oh,
doubled in size. Anyway, so I go up to, you know, and he puts it up. I gave him a picture, and it happened to be, I didn't know what it was for years. it was a swinger club by my house. So I took a picture of it, got it blown up to an 8x10, and asked him to sign it. And he said, "What is this?" I said, "It's a restaurant." I said, "Could you put, my friend's a chef and he's thinking about quitting. Could you put to Rob, keep on cooking?" So he puts to Rob, keep on cooking. And he's already like, this is weird. And then he puts, "I triple dog dare you." And he signs it. That's his like shtick. And I said, "Could you also sign it Master Bates?"
Oh.
And he goes, "There's no more room."
There's no more.
And I'm standing there with my son. I said, "Oh, there's room. Just put it wherever." It's like, "No, I think this looks better this way for your friend. Sign it."
Rob's like that person's like, sign a damn thing, Raw.
And my son's getting awkward. My son's like, "Dad, it's good. It's good. It's cool. He'll like it." He's rolling with it. And so finally he's like, "Dude, you're holding up the line. Master Bates. Funny. I hated that movie." And he really was pissed off. One more.
Yeah.
Jason David Frank from the mighty
Power Rangers.
Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh,
Guy
buddy.
made up his own martial art. True story. Now at the convention, I'm going to tell the truth because I don't care. Dude was acting like Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. He had like a whole entourage and like big puffy jackets and Timberland boots, hats on sideways. So he had a big line and he kept like videotaping the line. And he was like, "Let's get everyone chanting my name." And they're all going, "Jason." So I was like, this guy is so conceited. Like, dude, you a has-been. People remember you like me. And so I went up to him. He's leaving. And I said, "Hey, I know we were both busy all day. I just wanted to, know if I could get a quick autograph." And he's like, yeah, come see me tomorrow." I was like, "Nah, now's fine." Now this is a true story. I don't care. I tell the truth. He had an entourage of about 6 big dudes who were all standing behind him, ice grilling me, just looking really mean at me.
Oh, wow.
I said, "Now's fine." He goes, "All right, you good? I don't have a pen." So I said, I got one of my markers right here. I pulled it out. I said, "If you could just sign this, that would be great." And I handed him Raggedy Ann and Andy and the big fat policeman. And there's a big portly policeman holding hands with Raggedy Ann and Andy. And he's like, "Are you serious, bro?" And his crew's puffed up.
Oh,
I said, "Yeah, I'm serious. You mind?"
It's time for Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Oh, show me your made-up martial art. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he signed it. I also had the cowboy. I know I said one more. "Oh my God, Rhee's here.
Hi.
Let's all wear our matching Beetlejuice shirts."
I don't have one, but I do have this very old one.
Now, Rhee, you're just in time.
Okay.
You're just in time for my final autograph story. You never know, there might be more.
Mhm.
But damn, what was my so I had The Haunted Fort by the Hardy Boys. Like from 1968. I don't care. I picked it up for $1 at like a garage sale. And I went up to the cowboy from the Village People.
Okay. Oh, man.
And actually got him to, he was totally cool with it. And he put, he said, "Who would you like it made out to?" He puts to Rob. And I said, "Could you put yeehaw, I love haunted forts." Boom, no problem. Here you go. And he put, YMCA, signed it. He put the cowboy in quotes. That dude. Some people are really cool with it. Some people, John, I know you had a story about when you met the guy who did the voice of Big Bird. What did you want him to autograph for you?
Don't you put this on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put this on me. Well, was it a
All right,
Playboy book?
let's
Is that what it was?
get to some serious content here, people. Rhi did not show up for goofiness.
Don't put me. This happens on a daily basis. Just damn it, Rob.
Yeah, I hear that quite a bit. So let's talk about Rob. So you've been collecting. There's been a new thing that we've seen from you. You've been collecting these items, these different genres and areas of the paranormal. What's going on with that? Well, I'm glad you asked, Pretty Creep Show.
Good job, sis. Good.
Yeah, that's what the people want to know, Rob. That's what they really want to know. So please share.
No, they want to hear more autograph stories. They're better. So I don't travel as much as I used to. You know, I'm aged. I'm ageist. So what I decided to do is, if I can't go to these locations and check out these places, I want a little part of it myself, right?
Mm.
So some of them I had to purchase because they're just really hard to find. I have dirt from the Patterson-Gimlin Bigfoot location sighting where the video was filmed.
Wow.
I have dirt from the Roswell crash site.
Ooh.
Water from Loch Ness.
Sweet.
Haunted locations, Savannah. I got stuff coming from just everywhere. You know what I mean? People have been so cool about it. And except for one, this dude goes on my Facebook page, got me a warning from Facebook for calling him. No, I called him an ash hole, and I spelled it ash. That wasn't a. But I said, you wouldn't say that to me if we were standing like right next to each other, dude. Don't be an internet tough guy. Because he said, well, you're asking people to take rocks from these locations, little pebbles, mind you.
Yeah.
And he said, if everyone did that, these locations wouldn't be there anymore.
What the how? I mean,
come on, man. I'm
sorry,
talking
sir.
about, you know, leaves and pressed flowers. I got pressed flowers coming from Sorrel Weed House in Savannah. A coaster from Moon River Brewery. Like, come on, calm down, asshole.
It's not like you're asking somebody to take like a brick out of a castle or something, you know, like
no.
You would never do that.
No, so, I mean, I got a lot of it has come from if there are people who were involved in like cleaning and redoing these places. I got a tile from an entry gateway from a cemetery, a haunted cemetery in Kent, England.
Hello.
Here's my GHI story. Paul Bradford, because he's not here to defend himself. I do the worst accents, right? So I'd always be like, "Oi, look at me! I'm Paul Bradford."
That's
and
pretty
he'd
good.
be like, so he'd be like, "Oi, I don't even sound like that. You do a Cockney accent. I've got a London accent." I said, "I can't tell the difference. Show me the difference." There's 5 distinct accents. Like Southern London would sound like this. "Hi, I'm Paul Bradford." And if you went up to Cornwall, it would be all like, "Hi, I'm Paul Bradford." Well, I'm sorry. I've been watching Australian Survivor in between new episodes of American Survivor. And so I'm just starting everything with oi.
We're going to have Paul on here later. I'm going to ask him about that. I want to say, you know.
Oh, you got to. Oh, I got some Bradford stories. I got Tepperman stories for days.
He's going to be on the podcast later on. I'm saying, you know, Rob's talking good about you guys.
here's what you got to ask Tepperman about. So,
all right.
Bradford and I got bored. Like, you have more downtime. Like, you finish your evidence review, then you have 8 hours in Nicaragua.
Yeah.
At one point in Nicaragua, I think it was, or Honduras, we were staying at a monastery, a former monastery, and now they rent out rooms. And it's like probably about 100 degrees. So we were leaving for the investigation, and I said, "Oh, I forgot something." The doors didn't lock, so I went into Tepperman's room and put his heater on, put it on full blast heat, and then put the remote on top because Scott's a little guy.
He's short.
Yeah. And
as a short person, that's not funny.
I know, that's so not cool. That's
awesome.
so not cool.
It was amazing. He comes out, he's like, "Oh, you guys sweating last night? What the hell was that?" His little Queen's accent. He's so cute. That's why we called him Peppermint.
So when he comes on the podcast and say, "Man, was it difficult to reach for that remote over Nicaragua? Huh? Was it bad?"
He finally went to the front desk. I guess it was like 106 in his room.
Oh my God.
Good Lord, Rob, what the hell?
It's like he suffered from heat stroke and died later that day.
Yeah, no, but and then we would have searched for him.
It's job security.
Can you hear me? Can you respond to me? Are you here?
Knocking off the competition.
Oh,
but yeah, so I've been collecting all these different things. I have rocks and pebbles from Casadega, which is the psychic town in Florida. I've kind of cut back. I had COVID, which kind of knocked me for a loop. I was really feverish for a couple weeks. I probably should have gone to the hospital, but I refused. So I've kind of stopped and slowed down for a bit. I got to catalog everything I have. But yeah, I'm looking to get lake water from Lake Champlain. My buddy's supposed to be sending that. Ogopogo water from Canada. My buddy's got that.
Ogopogo water.
Ogopogo is the Canadian Loch Ness.
It sounds like a really great energy drink.
We got one in Beaverton too.
Well, my two of my dogs are named Nessie and Champy, so they're named after lake monsters. And as I showed earlier,
there's a
you
scar.
can see that they are little monsters.
I understand that all too well. Mine Hulk smashed through my front window, through the screen, and ran straight to the street. He's like a Great Dane boxer mix. He's only 6 months old, and he's already 70 pounds. So he's a lot of work. So that was we were Scooby-Dooing earlier today.
He's like, "Forget this. I'm going out today."
He's like, "Hulk smash! I'm going to."
Damn. So that brings up another great weird autograph story.
Okay.
These are good.
So I had a little cardboard book that was Scooby-Doo and the Haunted Fun House. And my friend was going to a event and Dee Schneider was there.
Oh Lord.
So I asked, "Can you go get this signed? And can you have him make it out to Rob? I would have gotten away with it if it weren't for these damn kids." He refused to write. He didn't mind writing it out. He refused to write the word damn and would only do darn kids.
Really?
Dee Schneider?
Yeah.
That don't make no sense. That
And
don't
they
make no
asked
sense at
him,
all.
like, "Is there a problem?" And he's like, "I'm not going to take it. No."
I would just be like,
I'm not
"Bitch,
gonna
I'm
take
from
it.
Strangeland."
I'm not gonna take it.
Yeah, I mean, people ask me, like, have you met people that like are at these conventions that are rude and just kind of. I've only met like. It's so weird when you do conventions because you got to remember that when people come up, if you're not friendly for that 30 seconds, you could be having a bad day. You could be fighting with someone. You're behind on your bills, whatever. You got to make a good impression in that 30 seconds because you're going to forget about it in 10 minutes. They're going to remember that forever.
That's exactly right.
So I'm always like, so I went up to a certain, I won't even name who it is, but I will say it was from the TV show MASH. And man, rude is not the word.
Jeez.
I mean, I was like, wow, how do you make money? And then I look over and this person is like being all smiles with all the other guests, but because she didn't know who I was, like she was kissing. Saying she kind of gives it away.
think Rob gets another one up
was-
on that one. That's pretty good.
It was Alan Alda.
He gets another one up on that one.
Yeah, so but she was going up to Lou Ferrigno, who is still gigantic.
Yeah, he's massive, dude. I wouldn't mess with him. Like, yes, sir. No,
Man.
sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Yeah. Well, I went in the last day of the convention, and I hate being late for things. I always have to. I'd rather be early than on time.
Yeah, Rob was
If I
like
gotta-
15 minutes early today.
15 minutes every time. And so the last day of the convention, Lou Ferrigno was like, "Hey, I like you." I didn't really talk to him. His manager came over and said he wanted to meet me, and I got his autograph. And so he was like, "I like you." I said, "Why is that?" You know, because we didn't talk. And he's like, "I see every morning you and I come 20 minutes, half hour early. That's how you get life done. These people, they don't show up. They show up late. You disappoint your fans." I was like, "I don't want to disappoint you, Mr. Ferrigno." And I ran away. I was like, "The Hulk sucked."
There was your
Can't
opportunity.
catch me.
There was your opportunity to have him sign like a banana peel or something other. I don't know.
Or
Yeah,
get like
well,
a
no,
bear
he was-
hug from the Hulk. How awesome would that be? A
Oh,
Hulk
yeah.
hug.
I'm old, man. He'd break my back. Like, he is gigantor. But that actual event, New York Comic Con, was crazy. Like, there was Willis from Different Strokes was there.
Oh, sweet.
And here's the thing, I got his autograph. I don't even know where it is. It's around here somewhere. And it's him and Gary Coleman. And so I went over to him, and he's like, he's got no line. You know, it's Sunday. There's nobody there. My rule with conventions was if I was going to get other people's autographs and they didn't know I was signing there, I got to pay because they don't know who I am. And so they don't do the trade off. It's only the people that can see you that would do the trade. So I went up, and he's texting. He's like, "How you doing? 1 second." I'm like, "Do you want this money? Like, what are you doing here, dude? If you came on a Sunday, a lot of people skip Sunday, you know."
You
So
should
he
have done.
wasn't rude, but it was just weird.
You should have done. What are you doing, Willis? That's what you should have
Yeah.
done.
What you talking about? Willis?
You should-
No, I should have just like taken my shirt off and been like, "Say your line." He's like, "No, actually, that was Gary Coleman. Say it." Why would I say what you talking about? Damn it. And I'll tell you who was there. I think it opened at about 9 a.m. Anyone remember Johnny Clay from Survivor?
Like the first season, or
No, it was like season 7. He was the one that he made a name for himself by doing a trick saying that having his guest from home come and say his grandmother died, and he pretended to break down in tears. That's kind of what he was known for. But he was acting fake drunk at 9 a.m.
oh my god,
And it's like, when like people are really drunk.
Good
This
thing
dude-
anyway. I always just
Huh?
want to smack people when they're fake drunk. Ugh. I'm like, you're not.
Yeah,
cool.
it was so weird. And it was like to keep up his image. I was like, dude, 9 a.m. drunk is not a good image.
no.
You know, like the rest of us are taking breath mints from the night before. He's trying to ham it up. But it was cool. I met the Iron Sheik, Nikolai Volkov.
Oh, nice.
Iron Sheik, I don't know why. Sheiky baby. He actually requested to meet me. His manager came over and was like, Iron Sheik wants to meet you.
That's
So
awesome.
I went over there, and he was like, "Oh," he shook my hand, signed the autograph. I signed one for him, and that was it.
I'm
sure that
Go ahead.
I'm sure he balled it up and threw it over his shoulder when I walked away. Like, is he gonna it's hanging over his bed? Like, didn't want it.
I love his Tom Brady tweet. Did you see what he posted about Tom Brady?
No. Oh yeah. I did actually.
Money or something other Bubba.
He's you know what's
awesome.
weird is that like he was in a wheelchair.
Yep.
He's Nikolai Volkov looked like he didn't quite know where he was, but he was happy to be there.
Yeah.
Just happy to be out of the house.
Same. That's me anytime I get out of my house. I'm like, yep, just happy to be here. Especially in the last 2 years.
Crit's like a tourist. She's got her camera ready and everything. She's taking photos of everything. Look at that.
That's
Look
exactly
at that
right.
tree. That tree looks silly.
For real. Especially if there's a dog.
Her.
If there's a dog, it's over with. Forget it. Like you're not getting me anywhere. Like I'm gonna
It's a
sit there and
Bob.
hang out with the dog.
It's a Bob Ross tree. Look, happy little tree.
Let me go get my paint. Yeah, for real. Like that's how it is these days.
So let me ask you this, man. With all this stuff that you're getting, and I know you've done paranormal for years, but what are you going to do if you get something that's attached to it, possibly? Do you even believe in that? I mean...
I do. Here's the thing. People have asked me that before. The house I'm in right now, it's actually my stepdad's house. I guess, like, thought it would be a fun place to come hang out. How wrong I was. Backwoods, South Carolina is really not meant for me. But the house I'm in right now is haunted. Like legit haunted, like doorknobs shaking back and forth, hearing people talking, seeing things out of the corner of your eye, like you name it. Just weird stuff. Motion knocks on the door and there's nobody there. So
Jeez.
I don't know how much worse I could make it. You know what I mean? Like bringing all this stuff in here. I don't know if you know the Booth brothers.
Get worse.
Yeah. Exactly.
What?
Yeah. What is that sound, by the way?
Somebody's cooler than me and getting messages.
That's just my stupid
OMG.
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's John.
God,
he's always the one. He's the popular girl.
Yeah, no.
Don't you make me dance to Beyonce. I will.
You said you were going to be Beyonce earlier. You've already claimed it. You put it in the universe.
Beyonce got nothing on this one. No. Girl.
Anyway.
You know what's, speaking of conventions, damn, I'm mad. Hartford, Connecticut has a 90s convention.
What?
And it's got like Boy Meets World and Saved by the Bell and
Full House?
You name it. Like Family Matters.
Urkel.
Like, I mean, I met, well, don't get me going on that one. I did a podcast a while back, and I was like, greatest comedy show of all time. And somebody was like, oh, Seinfeld? I was like, nope, not even close. No. Family Matters. They're like, what?
Ooh.
I was like so canned and lame. I was like, come on. Did I do that?
Right?
Comic gold. And they were like, are you serious? I was like, just thinking about it cracks me up. So the rest of the podcast, every once in a while when it would slow down a little bit, I'd be like, did I do that? God, that guy was good. But he was funny.
But he got Laura at the end of it. Kudos to the Irk Man.
You know what was weird is his girlfriend before that at the end died like right after the show finished. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Young. She's met in her 20s.
No, she's in her 30s actually.
I did security. I ran a security team for a popular traveling circus art show that everyone knows. But and we used to get, when we did when I was working for him in Los Angeles, we had Stephen Urkel, Common was there, Willow Smith. I got called to bring in the VIPs, so we had she was in Speed.
Was it Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock. I talked to her. I had to like bring her through security.
She's so funny.
Jason Bateman. So it was like, that's my name. The only thing that was annoying, because I'm old, right? So all these influencers are coming in with their entourages, and I'm supposed to know who they are. And I'm actually working with this big dude doing the VIP entrance, and kind of overseeing him. And they're like the people who are famous, legit famous. We had oh God, what was her name? Tiffany from the 80s, the musician.
Yeah.
She was there.
One hit wonder. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What's his name? I actually got to apologize to Jason Priestley for accidentally grabbing his butt.
Accidentally.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
He was cool though, because I said, "Hey, sorry I grabbed your butt, man." And he turned it, and I said, "Total accident." He goes, "Sure." And he kept walking. I was like, that dude's cool. But all these influencers, these YouTube celebrities are coming in. And I'm like, they're like, "Don't you know who?" No.
Yeah, no.
No, I do not know who you all are.
There's so many. There's so many.
I guess this guy's really famous, and he had like 6 dudes with him, and he's like this fashion sneaker expert kid. And he had like an entourage, and he had one dude in the entourage. He's like, because I'm working, I'm heading the security team, and he's like, what do you say? His entourage guy, really flamboyant dude, was like, "How come you never smile? I bet if I come tickle you," and everyone's laughing. I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, don't do that. Like, you want to have, I said, "You want to have a good night, right?" "Well, of course. Why don't you have a good night?" I said, "My man, I hope you enjoy the show. Let's just keep it moving, because I will ask Eric Master Bates to sign a swingers club picture.
That's awesome.
But you are not tickling me," which is actually what I want on my tombstone. "Here lies Robb D, the immortal," quote, "the immortal. You are not tickling me." It sounds like I worked at a strip club, right? I hope you enjoy the show.
Or that you had like a really bad experience with like Elmo, like maybe you had a really traumatic Elmo experience.
Some people did actually have. Some people had some awkward experiences with Mr. Elmo.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
My niece was terrified of it. We got her one, and she was like, "No, please take it away."
Elmo.
Yeah, it's not right.
Yeah, I was the era of Cabbage Patch Kids.
What?
Like,
Oh, I remember Cabbage Patch Kids.
I do too.
You do not, Chrissy.
Yeah, I totally remember them.
So I wear Cabbage Patch doll clothes.
Your Beanie Babies.
Oh my God.
I am for the Princess Diana edition Beanie Baby.
I've never had a baby in my life.
Why is there one right behind you?
Did y'all watch that HBO special about Beanie Babies and how they rose to power? It was so wild. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they used like a drug gangs from Costa Rica.
It was really strange. Like they would only put them in these little tiny shops, and they wouldn't let like corporate America get a hold of Beanie Babies so that their value would continue to grow. I was like, who knew that this was like the Beanie Baby Mafia? And it was all ran by like soccer moms. It was wild. If you go have HBO, check that out, because it is like, what is happening? Had no idea.
Folks,
there's still like in small shops, right?
Do what, Ray?
They're still not in like
Ray.
Right?
Sorry.
They're still.
I'm calling her Ray for the rest of the show, by the way.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Damn it, Rob.
John, Sissy, and Ray. Good old Ray.
Let's do it.
From now on, introduce her. Change her name on the little slide when Scott Tepperman comes on.
Oh,
and this is Big Ray.
Folks, I'm sorry, but this is one of the best Beyond the Paranormal podcasts we've had. I'm sorry, just everything into one. So
yeah, we're gonna touch on the paranormal here in a little bit, but Ray, before I know everyone who's just joining us, Ray was saying, "Here's how I became the Burp King of Kentucky." So go ahead, Ray, whenever you're ready.
What?
It all started with a root beer.
It started back in 1974. I was walking
I
outside.
wasn't alive.
Alive.
1982.
Still wasn't.
I was alive. I was alive in 74.
Okay.
Yeah, 79 for me.
Yeah, I was born in 74. Yeah. So we actually did want to ask Sissy about her little fish tank behind us here. We
Okay.
had a question from
So
one of
cute.
the viewers. Sissy, what kind
Actually,
of fish do you have?
we've got questions.
Actually, they are, what are they called? Platies? Platies.
No,
Platies?
I believe the term is cod.
Cod? Okay. What was I watching earlier and they were talking about cod? Oh, I don't know. Some show. They were talking about codfish and the difference in those and salmon.
Yeah, those are cod. Those are baby
Okay.
cods.
Those are Pilates.
They're miniature cod. They're miniature cod.
Tiny salmon.
I'm not even going on this one, folks. I'm sorry, but this to be continued later.
All right, so we've got that covered. Any questions? Any questions we have from the audience? If not, I will make up the audience questions.
There is none right now, folks. You heard Rob.
Okay.
If you have any questions, please put them in the chat room, and we'll answer them. So,
We have a question here.
man.
Why do you suck? Okay, can we get them out of the chat?
You're banned.
Adios.
Bye.
Get the band hammer out.
Yeah.
Ban them, Ray. Get them. Get them.
By the
Get 'em, Ray.
power of Thor.
Oh, what is going on with Big Ray's camera?
I think she's mad. RhiAnna, where you at?
It's like technical difficulties. Ooh.
There she is. There she
I was trying to
is.
flip back and forth with Facebook and see questions. Hold on. Give me a second.
We're singing Miss Kentucky. There she is. Miss Eastern Kentucky.
It is Eastern Kentucky.
Miss Possum.
I will be in Kentucky. I don't even know when it is. The group
You just
that
know.
I'm a part of, we're gonna come down there and check things out. I don't think it's till the fall, maybe.
Good. We'll come hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. You're more than welcome.
What are you out in Kentucky? What group?
No, it's Cold Spotters, which is an international group. We have like 23 teams that are all put together. You know, if anyone has local teams they want to get in contact with us, just look up Cold Spotters. We're in Vancouver, Canada is where it all started. But right now we got teams everywhere, you know, in Europe, all over America, Texas, which I guess is part of America technically. But having worked in Houston for quite some time, I don't consider it quite to be part of America.
They tried to secede at one point, like in the last decade. So
Did you just say? Oh, you just offended everyone in the audience from Texas because you just said they tried to succeed.
I said secede.
Yep, Texas.
Well, that
Sissy,
too.
you're one big fail.
I've got some family down there. They're trying real hard.
What got you into the paranormal, man? What was that first experience for you that kind of hooked you on it?
It wasn't. That's what everyone says. Like, what was your big experience that got you into it? It wasn't a big experience. My mom is like a walking encyclopedia on everything paranormal, and since I was a little kid, I was exposed to it, and all the books that were around. It actually started really. We would go out to abandoned buildings, and some of them were rumored to be haunted, but people ask me like, "Oh, don't you get scared?" When you've been doing it since you were like 7, I did my first official investigation at 16. So I got 30 plus years in this. Come on, man. It's going to take quite a bit to scare me.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a question in the chat.
Do you like soup?
It is for Sissy. Do you like soup?
Only if it has potatoes in it. Because
Really?
I'm a hobbit. I'm a hobbit. Yeah, I'm a hobbit. I'm from, the Shire. So it's got to have potatoes.
Shire
Actually, it's funny because John was just saying before the show, one, he likes soup. So that Amanda Quill, I hope that answers your question. We also had John was saying that he would like to sing us the Bilbo Baggins song.
No.
Come on, John. I'd love to hear that.
That's what Bilbo Baggins says. Remember when all the dwarves come to his house?
Oh, he was so upset. And poor guy,
And the
he had
dishes
OCD.
and
He had
so
major
John,
OCD.
whenever you're ready, unless Big Ray is ready with that burp.
Yeah.
So I am a
Rating,
huge.
John.
I am a soup fanatic.
No soup for you, Rob. No soup for you.
I could tell a story
Okay,
that
am
would
I
be
the only
really
person
bad,
on
but
this
I
side
have
of
a
TikTok
soup
with a good
assigned
soup?
ladle.
Is that
Oh,
me?
go ahead, Big
Anybody
Ray.
else see that?
Go ahead, Big Ray.
Okay.
What is it?
What?
No, what were you saying? What are you saying?
What was I saying?
What's big soup or something? I don't know.
Oh, on TikTok, Adam Driver, when he's like, good soup. You know what I'm saying?
I've never been on TikTok in my entire
Well,
life.
that's because
Unless it's if Tyrone puts his videos on. And you've seen the I'm Tyrone videos?
no.
I'm Tyrone, and I'm here to your wife. Long
No.
style. He
No.
goes
They
up
might
to
be on
random
TikTok, who knows?
people
Mm.
and talks about how he would like to fornicate with their wives, and he goes further to say that his style involves
The long dick.
his Big Ray. We keep it PG in here.
Oh.
But yes, he apparently his style involves both the falcon, flying tiger, and large genitalia.
Mm-hmm.
And if people at home or people watching this on YouTube, if there's one thing you take away from it, I would want it to be that Tyrone is well endowed, and we should all be thankful for that.
He's got an attitude of gratitude.
If you haven't, he wound up getting shot. Someone shot him.
What the crap?
He went up to a
Probably
big
wasn't
group.
bang their wife.
Well, no one. You'd think that at least one guy would be like, "Can I watch?" But no one said that.
Back in
I wouldn't say that. Well,
1984.
Big Ray, that's you. You're pretty aggressive.
Back in 1984, buddy, I was listening to Tiffany, and I was walking down the street. I had my headphones on. I got some dentures to sell too. I'm gonna put that on the swap shop. The real
I
ID.
don't know if you know.
Swap shop, yes.
Oh my God! You know what that reminds me of? You ever see the show Family Matters?
Yeah, of course.
Just wanted to ask you that.
We sure
Do
did.
you remember that time when you was overseas and you was investigating, like I think it was like a Hitler bunker? Do you remember that?
Yep.
Cool.
Are you doing the SNL?
Skip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. Yeah.
Cool.
No, I've done that in interviews before. Yeah, that was cool. I'm sweating.
Oh God, this has been great podcast. Oh my God, you need to be
But
on.
yeah.
You need to be another co-host with us. This is well, like I said,
Oh man, I would, but kind of hitting the gym right now. Woo!
Working on that dad bod. I got me a dad. I don't have dad bod. I've got a refrigerator full of love right here. Sorry, that's
COVID kicked my COVID. Actually, I lost about 30 pounds because I guess had no desire to eat. I guess slept all day and was like feverish. So I dropped 30 pounds. I'm kind of trying to stick with it. Eating healthier and whatever. Like, I can't motivate to go to the gym like I used to. I kind of look. Here's a intense Rob D secret. I tend to burn out on things. Like, I did my autograph collection, and I literally have hundreds of autographs. Everyone from competitive eaters to high jump Olympic champions from like 1981. Well, the Olympics wouldn't be in 81. What, Big Ray, what year was the Olympics in the early 80s?
Hell if I
know. She's answering to Big Ray.
I
alive.
wasn't
Hello.
In the 80s, I'm older than the freaking hills.
87. He said early 80s.
Sissy, can you help me out here?
I sure can.
Google is your friend.
I'm very un-American, and I don't watch the Olympics. Sorry.
All right. Well, it was nice talking to you guys. Have a great evening. Sorry, Vladimir Putin called. He wants Sissy back.
Oh wow!
No,
I
I
wouldn't
mean-
trade her for a bag of Doritos, buddy.
that's right.
And some
That's
Kitty
fine.
Bats.
Got it, comrade. Yet.
Oh man, can you
Never
be
want
consumed? Can you be consumed by a location? I mean, can you honestly be attached to that location?
In what way?
Spiritually.
And Paul Browning jumped in to say 1980. 1980 was the
That's a
Olympics
good
that
save.
year.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks.
Yes,
That's a good
1980. 1980.
I wasn't born.
Good God, it's like the year after I'm older than what the crap is going on? This is old.
Let's do the time warp.
No, I'm beautiful and I'm young still. I don't care.
Okay, you know who I don't think is funny? I just want to make sure that I offend Paul Browning. Whatchamacallit? Like the whole I'm 55. Yeah, I'm right behind you, Paul. What was the knights that say knee and the holy hand
from,
grenade?
The Monty Python.
Monty
Yeah.
Python.
the Holy Grail.
And you know what annoys me? It's like Seinfeld. I didn't find either of those funny, and everyone's like, "Oh, you don't get it." No, I get where the joke's supposed to be. I just don't find it amusing. Amusing is something funny like, "Did I do that?" That's funny. You want to make me laugh? Be Urkel. Suspenders. It's funny. He doesn't know that suspenders aren't in fashion. It's funny.
I used to rock suspenders. Here we go again. Thanks, Rob. I tell you.
What about
Anyway,
yourself?
so I know I'm going to make Crit and RhiAnna upset when I say this, but I'm not a what? I'm not a big Harry Potter fan.
Shut
I'm a
up.
huge
Get
Harry
outta
Potter
here.
fan.
Weird.
What a
That's
muggle.
Deborah.
Monty Python, yeah, not good. Harry Potter. Here's my Harry Potter story. So I was in London, and I guess when I go to London, I just kind of wander around, right? Like I don't have a set destination. I go to Piccadilly Circus, which is like used to have all the CD stores, but nobody buys CDs anymore.
I do.
Yeah, I steal all my if I hear a song I like, I just go on YouTube, find it. Don't use an illegal converter to get the MP3. So I'm in London and I'm in Piccadilly
Picking a poke.
and I see a bunch of dudes, big dudes in suits. And so they're like and there's a stage behind it. But I had kind of wandered in behind them. I was like, oh, this is weird. I don't know, is a concert or a political speech. I look over and there is Harry, Ron, and Hermione, Daniel Radcliffe, and the real actors waiting. It's the premiere of I forget which one it was. Like which one do they go to Piccadilly in? Where he turns his aunt, makes her blow up like a balloon. Anyway, so I was literally walked. Yeah, I walked past security, and I'm standing 10 feet away from the three of them. I was like, all right, I'm gonna jam out of here before anyone notices that I'm like, before I go up and be like, hey Harry, remember when you fought Voldemort?
Yeah, cool.
That was awesome. Just pour sweat on him.
Get a napkin, have him sign it for
I mean,
you.
that's
like,
probably what would really happen if I were in the same atmosphere as Daniel Radcliffe. It's
She
like,
was
Yeah,
fine.
it was all three of them.
I got the
They're
vapors.
waiting to be called on stage for the big premiere.
she would faint. We'd have to have like EMPs.
Yeah, where's my
on
Scarlett
standby.
O'Hara style fainting couch? I'm just gonna like have the vapors pass out. Yeah.
Harry Potter.
There's no such book as the Whistling Pickle.
Mhm.
The
Oh my god.
yeah,
What a
I almost back then they had a wand signed by Lord Voldemort, the actor,
Mhm.
and it was 500 pounds, which at the time was like 800 US.
Nope.
Mhm.
Sorry.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, at the time I was making a lot more money. Now I'd be like, oh hell no. That's like my car insurance.
Yeah.
But
Let me just hold
yeah,
it there
back
for a minute.
then. Yeah, it was awesome. Like I'm a big Harry Potter fan. My uncle, before he passed, got me into it. And I was like, why is my uncle this big, Vietnam vet Harry Potter book, this cartoon character on the front? He was like, try it. It's actually good. And so I checked it out and I was like, I was hooked. I'll tell you what, myself, Andy Andrews, and the executive producer of GHI all went. The final book came out. And
Definitely
we
have-
all went to the supermarket at midnight and picked it up. And then this was when we were shooting the pilot for Ghost Hunters International. And we were all reading it at the same time. And the producer would always come up to me and be like, what page are you on? He'd be like, funny. I'm on 281. You're only on 87. Yeah. He was really into like that he was beating me. I was like, yeah, because I was up all night. He was like, so was I. I was right there with you.
So you was reading a book while we're doing an investigation. How awesome.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, it wasn't his job to he wasn't holding cameras, we had a whole crew. But that place, there was some cool behind the scenes story that I'm not supposed to talk about anything from that show, but I do anyway, as long as I keep it positive. When we did the monastery in Italy, right at the very beginning, all the originals, Harnwan, Andy Andrews, and LaCroix, and all them, there was a women's dormitory. It was a monastery, but they had so much crops they had to cut that they brought women from the town in. And the monks hated that. And apparently some crazy stuff took place. And all the women were freaking out when they went in the men's monastery. Now, one of the producers was a woman who didn't believe in ghosts. She came into that dormitory with myself and Andy Andrews, and then she came up and said, Rob, and she was shaking, and she was like, I gotta go. I gotta leave here. I gotta go right now. She quit the next day.
Jeez.
All right, Paul, you have a great evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck, Paul.
Yeah. Keep strong, brother. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Glad you
man,
came in
that's
and
rough.
listened to the podcast for sure, man. Paul's been on here before. Paul's been a good friend of mine for years.
Oh, I've known Paul
Take care.
GHI, I think. He came in as pity. He was like, I got nothing else to do. Hold on, wait a second. Is that New American Gladiators? Nah, it's a repeat. See what this chat's about.
So I got a crazy.
Hold
Go
on,
ahead.
I interrupt real quick. I just
No, you're
want to
fine.
say it's been fab talking to you. I have to go help a kid with her homework. Enjoy.
Have a great evening. Thank you for coming
Bye.
in. We'd love to have you again. You've been a terrific guest.
Course.
All right, we'll send you a message.
Yeah.
All right, you take care now.
All right,
Bye.
you too.
See ya.
Bye.
Thank God. Oh, that was dragging some dead weight.
Oh,
Wow. Like, I'd rather have, those fish that sing on the plaque? I'd
Oh,
rather
God.
have that as a co-host. Yikes. Big Ray didn't even do his big burp.
Every time
people
I
at
think of
home,
one of
it
those
was
fish
so good.
now, I think of the show What We Do in the Shadows. I don't know if you watch, but
Oh
there's
my
a
God, it's so good.
I love that
No.
show so much. There's a scene with that fish that is supposedly like this godlike creature to these vampires. It's pretty great. So
Are you maybe thinking of Family Matters?
no,
Oh,
I'm
Family
not.
Matters again. Everything's bad.
It's 7 degrees of Family Matters.
Oh my God, I love that show.
RhiAnna
Didn't-
helps out a lot on here, though. That's for sure. She helps out a lot. So
Yeah,
She's a
no,
good
we want to thank Rhi for bringing down the mood.
She's a good egg.
she is.
She's an egg, all right. All right. Well, she's not here, so we don't have to be nice to her anymore.
I got one more question, and
All
we'll
right.
get out of here for the evening. This kind of like, it don't blow my mind, but it interests me very much. Like, especially when you was overseas doing these investigations, you go back through your audio and it's you've got these EVPs, but they're in the English language. That I don't understand that. That's like, well,
Oh, that was the huge complaint about GHI. And what I attributed it to, and then certain people from the show stole the idea and passed it off as their own, is that the possibility exists that when we cross over to wherever we go, people think that, well, ghosts, you don't question that they can walk through walls, but you question that they can speak English when they pass. Like, we don't know what, if they're part of a universal consciousness.
right.
We asked questions in English and got responses in Afrikaans, in German, in Romanian. Sometimes we would ask questions in the native language as best we could, butcher it.
Yeah.
And they would respond in English. Now, I used to, we knew that was going to be an issue, but it's like, so, I still say to this day, I don't care what anyone says, I know what's up. GHI is one of the realest paranormal shows you're ever going to see in your entire life. It'll never be recreated. People put a lot of hard work, and no, we didn't get the most incredible evidence because we were being honest. So I was talking about it back in the day with Barry Fitzgerald, and I said, we could throw out evidence, but it's almost the same as faking evidence. Like, we're going to present to you what we got.
Mm-hmm.
If we wanted to fake stuff, the EVPs would all be in the native language, right? And believe me, there are people out there on TV that are faking everything.
Oh yeah. It's
And I
entertaining.
know who they are, and everyone knows I know who they are. But some people, like, it's tough because they're like, you get one group that says it's all fake. GHI, all the shows are fake, right? It's all for entertainment. It's all made up. And then you get another group who says it's all legit. Every show is legit. Who are you to judge? And so I'm kind of caught in the middle because I'm like, look, I know which ones are doing what. I know how they're doing it. I'm done trying to fight that fight. You can tell the emperor, to everyone in town, that the emperor doesn't have clothes on, but they're not going to believe you. So I'm good, so to answer your question, I believe that the ability for language to be understood and spoken and passed on back to us in the form of EVPs is something that we gain if we're in this kind of middle ground between here and whatever's our next adventure may be.
Has there been a location that actually pushed you to your limits, though? I mean, has there been a location that kind of like, shook you a little bit, or emotionally or anything?
Emotionally, I would say Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines. A lot of that one hit really close to home because it was most of the stuff we did, right? It was like in 1702, blah blah blah. This is people from
Yeah.
This is somebody's grandfather, brother, and the evidence we were getting, was pretty incredible. And so I was kind of that one, when you have a guy and people look at this guy and they say, oh, he's the caretaker. If you watch the episode, Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines, I don't know what number it is. I can't remember my phone number at this age. But if you watch the episode, the guy who gives us a tour and we do the reveal with, he was actually a jungle training expert for our soldiers heading over to Vietnam. So this isn't some like wussy little guy. And he starts breaking down in tears because he's the caretaker there. And when he's telling people all the stuff that he's experiencing, everyone's laughing at him and making fun of him and telling him he's old and this and that. And he said some of this stuff off camera. And we were able to present to him evidence and say, look, everything that you said what happens here happened. We heard the voices. Dustin saw a doctor. You know, we recorded everything. Like everything that this guy said happened to us. You know, so it was kind of a shakeup.
Folks, that's the end of the podcast for this Tuesday. We want to thank our guest, Robb Demarest of GHI Ghost Hunters and Haunting Australia. And we'll be back next Tuesday, of course, with another guest here on Beyond the Paranormal Podcast. Please get out and subscribe to our YouTube channel and also subscribe to our Facebook page. Just takes a couple of seconds. For my co-hosts, Curdy Creep Show, and for me, John Abad, and for our other co-host, RhiAnna, we'd like to thank Robb Demarest for being on here, folks. So we'll see you next Tuesday, folks. Thank you all so much.
See you later, creeps.
I'm going to dinner.
Thank you,
I
Robb.
got to go eat. So thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Till next time, America.
See you, Robb. Thank you, man.